Confirmation that an Israeli man has been killed. What details are known at this hour?
Well, we're hearing reports, Benita, that it's not clear, first of all, whether it was Russians or Ukrainians, but obviously 37-year-old Israeli. We were told that earlier by the Zaka Rescue Service, on his way to the border with Moldova, as a wife and 2 children inside Ukraine, and as parents here in Israel. Obviously, a sad event. Prime Minister Naftali Bennett also sending his condolences. Obviously, has gotten traction in Hebrew language media, as you would imagine. I don't know that this will change Israel's policy towards the conflict, towards the war. The basic dilemma that Israel faces is the same. Obviously, it's more real to Israelis, even more real than it's been up till now, with an Israeli now killed.
What does this mean, though, in terms of relations specifically for Moscow and Jerusalem? Israel has, as we've discussed many times here in studio, been playing a very cautious line up until recently. Yair Lapid, the foreign minister, with a more outspoken tone in recent days, though. But what does this mean long term for the relationship as the situation unfolds right now?
Well, the basic parameters, Benita, of the dilemma Israel faces really haven't changed since the run-up to the war, right? On one hand, the alliance with the United States, the close ties with Ukraine, and the merits of the situation. And on the other hand, the leverage that Russia has over Israel by virtue of controlling the skies over Syria, which Israel uses in order to attack Iranian and Iranian-linked targets, with Iran, as you know, Benita, shipping precision weapons to Lebanon that's meant to kill you and to kill me. And to destroy your house and to destroy where I live. So this is obviously a dilemma for Israel. The dilemma hasn't changed. There's a real debate, including among Israeli elites. You can find serious people on both sides, but whether Israel really needs to be careful of the situation and the leverage that Russia has, and be very careful in how it's handling this, with another set of people who, again, are serious people, are elite, serious policymakers and serious foreign policy thinkers, who say that that's all well and good, that Israel needs, as they put it, to be on the right side of history. And at the end of the day, that is going to be under enough pressure from the United States and enough pressure from the situation that it's to Israel's advantage to simply get there now rather than be dragged there. So again, there are serious arguments on both sides, and you of course can see that in the way the government policy is playing out, right? With the Yair Lapid more in the camp of the right side of history camp. He even used those words himself in his statement today. It's saying that Israel is going to go ahead and vote for that resolution in the General Assembly condemning Russia. Now, on the other hand, you have Naftali Bennett, who is more cautious and has not come out and condemned Russia, let alone former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, albeit now leader of the opposition, not an irrelevant part of this, who, again, before the Likud faction meeting earlier today, said that the government needs to show much more caution.